Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel for the final time, featuring these two characters. Past couple of days I've been filming them individually, mainly to demonstrate the posability of the figures with the alternate hands, the gesture hands. Normally I put them with the gripping hands so they can hold their weapons, but I wanted to get it on camera what they can do without those gripping hands and without holding their weapons. So ideally I would have liked to have shot this with a automatic turntable to get the different angles, but I'm going to keep the camera on this fixed position and change the angles manually, old school. So here comes the first one, so you can see a bit more of the dynamics of what these two figures look like from different positions. So Daredevil has got his back more or less to the camera. You can see more of the Punisher. I've got him reaching for his billy sticks. I'll come in close on that. Not too bad. And I'll come in close on Punisher. That's not too bad either. So I'll give you the second one and change the angle again so you can see what they look like. So Daredevil has got his back virtually to the camera, but as I said earlier, I do like to see figures from the back, mainly DC figures like Batman and Superman, because I like the moulded capes, and you get a closer look at those capes when I do them that way. But this is just for these two figures today. I'll come in close to capture that dynamic, and I'll pull it back and give you the next one like that. So I've moved it slightly and you're beginning to see more of the back of the Punisher. You're still seeing a lot more of the back of the Daredevil, but let's come in close on that dynamic. And I think these two figures work well together like this in this mode, because if you remember in the first season, or if it was the second season, I forget now, they weren't the best of friends, but by the last season they teamed up to take on the violent criminal elements in Hell's Kitchen. So let's move it again and see what we've got there. So we've got less of the rear side of Daredevil, and we're beginning to see more of the back of the Punisher. I'll bring a close up there, and I do like that. You get to see the knife there, which is stationed at the back of the figure, and a bit of that body armour. I'll come in close on Daredevil because I do like the side view that you see on camera there. Not too bad. And now I'm going to move it around for a couple of more poses. So Daredevil starting to move into the position that Punisher was in. So we'll come in close just to capture that dynamic. And then you can see a bit more of his body armour and the two weapons that come with this figure. I haven't featured the axe in this bit of footage because we've already seen that on the channel before. And then I'm going to finish it with one more pose, and then I'm going to change the dynamics of the figures after this last one coming up. So we've kind of come full circle now. Where Daredevil was, we've now got the Punisher, and I do like that on camera. That looks quite good. Let's get a close-up over the shoulder of Punisher. You can see he's facing up to fighting Daredevil. I'll move the camera slightly just to see that angle, but I'm not going to mess about with it too much. I'm just going to tweak it one more time, and then we'll take them out of these poses. So that's the last one with these particular poses. I'll move it slightly over the shoulder of Punisher. I'll come in close, and I do like the way that looks. Let's bring it back out and change out the poses. We're on the 5-minute mark, so we're doing okay. Let's get it to 10 minutes and I'll be well happy. So we've taken them completely out of those poses and changed up the contact pose with Daredevil on his knees, and that gesture hand is on his helmet or mask, and I quite like that overall effect. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to change the figures around so that Punisher will be on his knees, but let's just move it around just to get that dynamic. I quite like the way it looks on camera. Today Punisher is being less fiddly, because the few times I've been filming him for the channel, it's been a bit like, what's going on here? He kind of won't grip weapons, he's not standing correctly, but it seems to be a good day, so I'm not going to jinx it. I'm going to just tilt the head down on Daredevil, just to see what that looks like, and then we'll reverse the roles. That's nice, even though I say so myself. So I'll pull it out. I'm going to tilt Daredevil's head down just to see what it looks like on camera. I'm not sure which one I prefer, but I like the idea of this pose. Daredevil is looking at defeat. Let's come out, show that position and move it around. That's not bad. Come around this side. And now we're going to reverse the roles and see what it looks like with Punisher on his knees. So this is Daredevil now, who has the advantage. I'll come in close on that. That hand there is slightly different from Punisher's, so because of his hairstyle, doesn't quite have the desired effect, but at the end of the day, I think you know where I'm coming from. So I'm going to show him with his head down. I just come around the side just to see what that looks like. I'll bring it back to the front and I'll tilt Punisher's head down. So Punisher's had his head tilted down towards the floor. I think that's a bit better than the first one. I've tilted Daredevil's head down, looking more at Punisher. Coming back, I like the look of it on camera. Let's come around to the side. And let's bring it back to the front. Okay, so we're going to get the figures both on their feet and try 2 more kinds of poses, and then we'll leave it there. And we're doing well, we're on the 8-minute mark. So they're both back on their feet. This is my first contact pose, in which Punisher is got a hold of that fist, or deflected a punch, and is about to inflict his own damage upon Daredevil. So I'll get some angle shots now, just to see what that looks like. Not too bad. That doesn't look too bad. And there you see Daredevil is trying to reach for the billy sticks to try and deal with Punisher. And let's come around on the other side. See that angle, or dynamic. So let's change it around now and see Daredevil in the same sort of pose as Punisher, and see what that looks like on camera. Quite like this one. What I've done slightly different is, because his gesture hand's slightly different to Punisher's, the grip is over the top of the arm instead of underneath, which is what I had to do for Punisher, but it's not a bad dynamic. Let's come around to the side. Not too bad. I'll go to the other side. That's a better position to shoot that. So we've got one last pose now and we'll end it there. 10 minutes. I'm happy. So this is the last pose. Punisher on one leg, Daredevil on one leg. And as we know, these two teamed up together. So we've got the Punisher in the kicking down the door pose. And we've got Daredevil with the kicking in, well, he's actually beating up an opponent with a martial arts kick. So they're quite like that. And so I'm happy that on 11 minutes, you've seen what these figures can do without their gripping hands and without weapons. And on that note, thanks for watching the channel. I'll see you again next time.